Welcome back to Papo Fluente podcast. One more conversation in English. I told you I would drop a new conversation every week, and here we go again. And I'm not alone. I have a very special guest with me, teacher Mari Brandão. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Hello, everybody. It's good to be here with you. Thank you
Yeah.
for your invitation.
All right, it's a great pleasure. So we've been talking for a bit on Instagram. So I'm happy we had a chance to put this together and have this conversation. So I want to start this conversation by asking you to introduce yourself to the ones who are listening to the episode. So who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? Why are you here?
All right. So I'm Mariana. I'm from Belo Horizonte in Brazil.
Nice.
I'm 40-ish and I
Okay.
teach English since, oh my God, I've worked as an English teacher for 22, 24 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm not
Great.
that old, but I started very young.
Nice.
When I started, I was studying arts in college, and it was like a money help,
Uh-huh.
like to study. And then I discovered my profession like this because when I was a young teenager, I really loved rock and roll songs and I
Uh-huh.
really wanted to know what they were talking about. And that's why I started studying English here in Brazil because I haven't lived abroad yet.
Okay.
So I started studying because of the songs and bands that I really liked. So that's why I started it all. And
Nice.
then when I needed money and I started teaching, like, helping students, helping young students at school, I
Mm-hmm.
discovered a new profession. Then I abandoned my university, my arts university,
Okay.
and I just started teaching English. That's how it started, and I just love it because I think teaching a language is very surprisingly. It shouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
because it is something very natural for
Yeah.
everybody. There is an American linguist, Noam Chomsky, that he suggested that every human, every human has a natural, innate ability to recognize and to speak any language. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's not that difficult. How did you started speaking Portuguese?
Mm-hmm. By observing, by listening to people, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it never changed.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It depends on how much you exposure yourself to the language you want to know.
Wow. What an amazing introduction, guys. Yeah, and that said I never heard that, but it's beautiful. Like just like knowing that you have this ability, right? Because I've taught English also, and some students they feel very frustrated because they think this is a gift or a special ability,
Mm-mm.
and everyone has this potential, right? So that's
Yeah.
great.
Alan, what I tell my students sometimes when I feel that they are very uncomfortable with English, I tell them, "Can you speak Portuguese?" And
Mm-hmm.
they tell me, "Yeah, sure." So I tell them, "So you can speak any language." Okay,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you are not going to get very closer to a native speaker.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to care about it.
Okay.
Okay, you need to communicate because
Yeah.
sometimes students come to us and they say, "Oh, but I should speak like an American
Oh
person.
my goodness.
I should speak like a British person." And I say, "Why?
Okay.
Why is that? Why do you really need to speak like a native? You are not a
Good.
native American speaker."
All
Okay,
right.
so it doesn't make any sense. You have and you need to communicate. If you communicate well, that's it.
Okay.
English is an international language. It's
Exactly.
going to solve many of your problems. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
help you out wherever you are. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you don't need to focus on these little tiny details. And
Yes.
sometimes they are too focused on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I tell them you need to focus on practicing. That's
Mm-hmm.
the most important, okay? But
Yeah.
of course, you're gonna have an accent. because
Mm-hmm.
you're not from there and you are studying as an adult.
Good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all your muscles, your tongue, your mouth, they are not prepared to
Mm-hmm.
pronounce those phonetics and those stuff like they do. This is
Mm-hmm.
not a problem, okay? You can speak English. Yeah, you can
Eh,
speak any language you want to.
Good. That's amazing. You just nailed one of my questions that I was going to ask, but that's okay because I actually have a game that I usually play with my guests. I will tell how it works, and you're free. You can say, "No, I don't want to play this game, Alan. Come on,
Okay, okay.
not today." Or you can even say, "Oh, I would love to play this game." So the
Uh-huh.
game works like that. It's called BS or Success. So
Mm,
I'm gonna say some things to you, like some things that I've seen on the internet and people saying, and you can tell if that's a BS or success in your opinion, and you explain why. So would
okay.
you like to play the game?
Sure, let's
All
do it.
right, good. So I don't like controversial topics, right? You know my work on Instagram. I don't talk about controversial stuff. So I'm going to start with a very easy one, okay? It's going to be a piece of cake. Fluency in 3 months. Is that a BS or success?
Totally BS. Totally
Why?
BS. Yeah, you know, if you think about yourself, this is so simple. Think about yourself. And how long did it take you to learn your own native language?
Mm-hmm.
So, people have to analyze things because nowadays we have like a range of stuff, of crazy stuff on the internet, mainly on Instagram, social media, where you find every kind of advertisement and you can find anything. Sometimes I tell my students, speaking another language is like going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
First, you cannot pay and don't go. It's not gonna
Yeah.
happen. Like I do this at the gym. Oh my God, I do. And I'm sure it's not helping me anything, okay?
Yeah.
You have to do it. It's a process. You have to trust the process.
Mm-hmm.
Just go and do it. They want something that comes immediately, like everything now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
People want things to be quick. Like
Yeah.
I buy it, I have it in 3 months. It's not like this. It's not gonna happen. You are going to pay. You already know it's not going to happen, but
Mm-hmm.
you are going to find a shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
So you try to find something that is like miraculous to help you in your needs. I'm so sorry. This is not how it happens.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree, 100%. And my next question. So, if you are an English learner, right? So you are not a native speaker, translation is bad for you, or in other words, using your native language is bad for you. Is that a BS or success?
It can be both.
Okay,
In my opinion, it can be both. Let's just talk a little bit about it.
let's break it down.
Yeah, it can be a BS if you support all your learning on translation.
Mm-hmm.
Because speaking another language is not translating. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a profession anymore because Google Translator is there.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the point. But when you are, especially talking about adults learning or learners, you can use your language to help you sometimes. Okay, so you don't need to start from the scratch, from the all beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it to help, but you have to open your mind to understand that you are talking about a different culture. So language is not something that you just change a word from Portuguese to English or to Japanese and it's gonna work the same way. We
Hmm.
have expressions, we have, a cultural baggage that it changes it all. So sometimes the way we speak in Portuguese is not the same way we're going to speak in English or in Italian or any other language. So you have to pay attention to that. So it's a BS if you are going to put your learn uh, over this and try to translate everything. It's not gonna
Mhm.
work,
Yeah.
but it can help you, like understanding an expression as it comes to you in Portuguese. For example, I tell you an expression, I say, okay, in Portuguese, a similar thing would be like this. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, it can be like relieving sometimes, you know, that you can understand it better. But you cannot, it is difficult because most times students try to do everything based on translation.
Mhm.
So I advert them that this, I advise them that this can be something dangerous, like,
Yeah.
okay, use it, but not all the time.
Mhm. Yeah,
So yeah.
exactly. Exactly. I love that. I love your answer. Next one. Uh if you are an English learner again, you can't learn English or you cannot become fluent if you don't live in an English speaking country. Is that a BS or
Yes,
success?
yes, yes, yes. This is also something that happens a lot because I have some anxious students that they tell me, "Oh, Mari, you think I should move abroad and to live there a year and just come back and then I'll have my English fluent?" And then I tell them, "No, not at all. Okay,
Oh
this
god.
can be a great opportunity for
Oh yeah.
you if you have enough money and you have enough time.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Do you? Because most of my students don't. They
Mhm.
have to work here, they have family, they have. So it's not so easy to live abroad. But
Mhm.
what they don't see is that when you live abroad, then you have this exposition, then you expose yourself to the language.
Mhm.
Why don't you do this here in Brazil? Because here in Brazil, they wanna watch Netflix in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Why? You know, so you have to adapt your life to that thing that you're focused on. So you're
Mhm.
focused on learning English, then put your cell phone, your TV,
Mhm.
all your gadgets, all your stuff in English. Try to study a vocabulary or try to listening to a podcast during your day, and
Mhm.
it's gonna come for you. But
Good.
they it's like they need the pressure to change.
Mhm.
And I don't think that happens. I know many people who have never lived abroad and they speak English fluently. Some of
Mhm.
them are teachers. I am a teacher and I never lived abroad. I've
Mhm.
been abroad so many times, but I never lived abroad.
Mhm.
So you can do it here. One of
Yeah.
the best teachers I trained in my life, she studied here, and that's it, and she's great you know
Mhm.
so I think this is for every learner in any language. You can study it from here, but you have to understand the process. You have
Yeah.
to exposure yourself
Mhm.
to that.
Yeah, like
I'm a chatterbox, Alan. I'm sorry.
no, you're great. Come on. No. No, I always tell my I don't know, people say, "Oh, I'm talking too much," but that's the idea. That's
Okay,
the idea.
okay,
I'm here just to listen, I'm here just like
okay,
keep talking, please.
okay. If it's too
But
much, you tell me to shut up.
no, no, it's great. It's great. Just one thing that I want to add, and you said like you nailed it, and the key it's exposure, right? Expose yourself to the language, and you said, "Oh, I've met so many people that are fluent, and that you were like a living proof. Like you never lived abroad, and you speak English, and the other way around is also true, guys. So I've met so many people who lived abroad for years, and
Hmm.
they don't speak English like simply because they don't need to, right? They
Yes,
have like they are in the Brazilian community, they have
yes,
like a bakery, a Brazilian bakery in the neighborhood, they have a Brazilian market in the neighborhood, so they don't need English, so they live here
that's
but they
it.
don't speak English.
That's it. And so many people doing this. I know
Hmm.
so many Brazilians living in Boston,
Yes.
for example.
Yeah.
Probably you have more Brazilians there than American. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yeah.
Yeah, so they don't speak English.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, sometimes students come to me and they say, "Oh, I'm gonna buy this interchange," and I say,
Oh
"Okay,
yeah.
sounds good."
Where?
Yeah,
Where? Boston.
where?
Okay.
Which school is it? You know, because there are some bad schools,
Oh yeah.
some bad schools abroad either. So I
Mm-hmm.
ask them which school, where. Some of my students choose a place that is not appropriate for it. They can't speak in the same level they when they left. So it makes no difference. You
Mm-hmm.
can learn here and you cannot learn living abroad. It
Mm-hmm.
depends on how you want to expose yourself to that. That's it. Very
Mm-hmm.
good point.
Yeah, great. All right. So one more. Memorizing a certain amount of words will make you fluent because I've seen some ads about it. Like, if you memorize 3,000 words, you'll be fluent. That's all you need
Oh
to
my
speak
God.
fluent English. Is that a BS or success?
Oh my God. Okay, that's a BS. That's a BS. Okay, memorizing words, improving your vocabulary sounds always good. So
Mm-hmm.
it's, I see that nowadays, teachers on mainly on Instagram or on social media, probably Facebook either, they try to catch you by something that seems very easy.
Yeah.
That's what we talked earlier, about the shortcut. So you see, oh, if I memorize 3,000 words, I'm going to be fluent. That's it. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so much easier than I'm telling you honestly. Okay, Alan, it takes a period. It depends on you, not
Mm-hmm.
on me. It depends on you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that simple. You have to take this time, you know. It's something that comes inside you. So it's not going to be so simple like memorizing 3,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
So people don't want to listen this. The same, I don't want to listen for my trainer, for my gym trainer, that I have to go there to do squats every day. No.
Yeah.
If he told me like, Mario, come here and you do like 50 squats and it's over, and I would say,
Oh,
oh,
let's
I'll
do it.
pay for it. Yeah, I'll pay for it. So uh, there is no shortcuts. So
Yeah.
a language is something alive. A language is something that when you start learning it, you are never gonna stop learning it
Mm-hmm.
because it changes all the time. It changes how people speak, how people use it. It changes in Portuguese. It changes in any language.
Mm-hmm.
It's alive. It's
Yeah.
alive. It's not something that it's not a book that you buy and you read and it's over. No, it's not. It's something that changes all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
when you memorize some words, okay, tomorrow there are more 10,000 words
Mm-hmm.
and slangs. And okay, you don't need to know every slang to speak English. You can speak a standard language. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to communicate to anyone anywhere, but you have to focus on learning, not on memorizing 3,000 words and it's over. It's not going to happen like this because there are situations that I can assure you this memorizing didn't get.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not going
Mm-hmm.
to show you. Okay, and words separate. I don't know how does this work.
Yeah, right? How to combine them.
Yeah, I see many adverts from teachers like, and it's good. As I said at the beginning, learning vocabulary is good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no matter how, no matter when, every word that you learn is good for you. It's
Mm-hmm.
improving your vocabulary.
Yeah.
But there is a connection between, okay, among the words that you have to take the sense of them. When you learn it, okay, probably you're going to make some mistakes. Nobody cares about it. So if you try these connections, if you understand a little bit about the structure of the language, it's going to be a little more fluent, a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a BS.
Good. All right. And you talked a little bit about it, but uh, these ads, they say English learners, they must sound like native speakers. Is that a
Yes.
BS or success?
Yeah, totally be. Why? Tell me why.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
I would like to ask one of those teachers why. Because,
And
for example,
and native from where, right?
yeah, from where? An English native speaker from where? Because there are like
Exactly.
thousands of countries that are native speakers. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
English speakers. You know, I give an example to my students. Most of my students are from companies, are adults
Okay.
from companies. And I tell them, okay, when you receive a foreigner in your company and this foreigner comes to you and she tells you like, Alan, eu querer almoçar na
Mm-hmm.
centro de cidade, por
Oh, I
favor.
got it. I got
Do you
it.
understand? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's the problem
Mm-hmm.
about it?
No problem. I got the message. I know what this person wants. Yeah.
Okay, you can communicate to him or her. You can give an answer. Okay, you can reply to it accordingly to the situation. So why does he need to sound like, oh, Alan, eu queria almoçar com você no centro da cidade, por favor?
Mm-hmm.
It makes no difference about communicate. It makes no difference, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so bad. This is so negative because this kind of communication, this makes the students very insecure about themselves, very insecure, very insecure. I had some students, Alan, here that they were like, hey, what's your name? First lesson, for example. Hey, what's your name? Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't speak English. I said,
Oh God.
no, I'm not asking you to speak it. I'm asking your name.
Mm-hmm.
And they were so insecure, so frustrated that they didn't want to say their names. You know, and I thought, okay, first of all, take it easy, relax.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first, it's not an obligation to speak another language. Okay, maybe there is a request from your job that you speak it. So you
Mm-hmm.
are going to study it. That's
Mm-hmm.
that simple. If you study it, okay, like repeatedly, you're gonna get it. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to ask sorry to say sorry all the time and to ask for permission to people for you to say something, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
relax. You know, like Brazilian people feel so belittled sometimes, like
Yeah.
they should speak perfectly. And I say,
Mm-hmm.
why? We probably don't speak Portuguese perfectly
Oh
because
yeah.
it's a difficult language, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So why? Why are you so concentrated on speaking like a native? Who
Mm-hmm.
told you that? You know? So just
Yeah.
relax about it. You know, you can speak and you are going to enhance your English level step by step.
Yeah.
You don't need to keep asking, oh my God, I cannot do this. Can I do this? Can I say that? Just say it. Okay, you are gonna make mistakes. I'm sure about it. I can
Oh
assure you
yeah.
that you're gonna make mistakes. It's no big deal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So this is something very bad that this kind of teacher do these teachers do on Instagram, on social media, telling people that they need to speak like native speakers. That's very unfair.
Yeah, right. I agree with you. Yeah, totally agree. And there's no need for this extra pressure, right? Like learning an English is like it can be fun, of course, but as you said, like sometimes it's a little bit stressful because you're learning something new, right? So, but you don't need like this pressure of speaking like a native speaker. We don't need
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and you know, like I said, for example, for my students, who most of them are adults, they already feel the pressure at their job, at
Mm-hmm.
their work, because the boss is telling them you have to communicate in English. So you have to go to the meeting speaking English. So they already have this pressure. So, oh my God. And sometimes I ask them, okay, who are there at the meeting? An Indian, a Chinese, an Italian, and okay, how do they speak English?
Mm-hmm.
With a huge accent. And I say, okay, so why the heck do you
Mm-hmm.
Brazilians need to speak English as a native. Why?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right, my last question for this game.
Okay.
Following Inglês Mari Brandão on Instagram, is that a BS or success?
It's a success, but oh my God, I suck on Instagram
It's
because
okay.
I don't have the discipline and neither the time to come that and to
Mm-hmm.
do everything, you know. Sometimes I see something from you and I love it. There are
Okay.
other teachers there I admire a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I see great ideas from them. Oh, I should do something like that. Oh, but to get the time for doing that,
I know.
also I'm very bad on technology. So, for example, I cannot do like you do, like editing a video. I cannot
Okay.
prepare it, you know. I'm totally awful at this. So, yeah, I try to put there something useful.
Okay. Yeah.
But the main point is I don't put lies.
Oh yeah.
That's the main point. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
never post something that I don't truly believe
Mm-hmm.
that I'm trying to help students. That's never, you know, like, oh, this is
Mm-hmm.
gonna make a lot of money for me, so I'll do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not me. I'm a teacher. I'm not a
Yeah.
businesswoman. I'm a teacher. You know, being a businesswoman is consequence because I worked for a lot of time in courses, in English courses here in Brazil,
Yeah.
and then at a point I decided to go by myself.
Yeah.
So being a businesswoman is just a consequence, but I'm a teacher, so I want
Mm-hmm.
to teach. If I can teach, that's good. If money comes, that's brilliant. Sounds great. But because everybody needs it.
Oh yeah.
But that's not my point. Making anything just to get money, you know?
Yeah. And sorry, I was just plugging the computer
Okay, okay.
charger, but yeah, but I totally agree with you, and it's a huge success, guys. Go follow Inglês Mari Brandão on Instagram, because
Okay.
even though you said it's hard for us to keep posting and creating content, I always say that to other teachers, right? I don't know how to be fancy. I don't know how to dance or do those crazy and entertaining contents, but you said the most important, right? As long as you're there to help people and being transparent and doing your best, this is all that matters. So that's
Yeah.
why it's a huge success, guys. Go follow on Instagram, Inglês Mari Brandão. It's a
Thank you,
great
man.
page, great teacher. You guys are listening to her. It's amazing. All right. So
Thank
did
you.
you like the game, BS or success?
Yeah, it was great.
All right, good. So we are done with that. And now I want to learn a little bit more about your story. So, when did you start learning English and why did you start learning English? If you
Mhm.
can share a little bit about your story
Yes,
with us.
sure, sure. So when I was a young teenager, I loved the rock bands and rock songs. I still
Mm-hmm.
do. And so I was very curious about what they were saying, they were telling there. And then I started learning English. I like, Mom, can you put me on an English lesson, an English course? I took private lessons with a teacher who I love.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it was great for me because I started learning like everyone does, you know, like a book, 2 lessons a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was very simple. I just liked it a lot. And then I started studying more. And when I was around 18, I started teaching, like for helping me making some money.
Mm-hmm.
While I was going to college, I studied arts at this time, and so teaching English, helping students close to my house, was like something just to make a little money to help.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was something unbelievable that I started feeling so good about teaching English. And then in the end, I abandoned my art college and I started studying English then.
Mm-hmm.
Then I graduated in English later because I became a teacher before I graduated. But I
Oh.
always liked studying. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
always liked studying. And then I graduated in English, and that's it. I visited some countries like the United States 3 times. I visit other countries in Europe, and but I never lived abroad. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like uh, being 3 months like abroad and then come back to Brazil. Always like this. I never lived abroad. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I can tell you that you can do. I don't have a gift. I don't have a special ability. I am a
Mm-hmm.
very common, ordinary person. So there is nothing much about learning. So that's it. A very simple story about a very ordinary person
Mm-hmm.
who can just speak another language and loves her profession, loves teaching.
That's great. And I mean, it must have been a little bit difficult to take that decision back then, right? Like, because you were studying arts, right? And you decided to like quit and move to this new path. But I think you made the right choice, right?
Oh, thank you. Alan. To me, sometimes you have to face some challenge in life. But when you open yourself to life, sometimes you kind of feel what is your cup
Mm-hmm.
like. That's for
Yeah.
you and that's not for you. I still love arts. There are other stuff I try to study, and I still love those things. But probably they were not what I was meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes we are just focused on money, on the market, I totally understand this is all important for our lives,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe we are here in this world for
Mm-hmm.
one thing.
Yeah.
And when you discover why you're here, sometimes it's not the best profession. Probably if I could choose a profession, I would do something. I mean, considering just money,
Mm-hmm.
I would try like, I don't know, something about IT engineering
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Like, I don't know, doctor stuff. I don't know. But success for me, success is not related to money. Money is a consequence, and it's important and it's good. But
Mm-hmm.
feeling good about what you do, feeling honest, having a good respect of people that who you work with, getting this back, seeing the result of your job, of your work, over people. I think
Mm-hmm.
this is success. For me, this is success.
Yeah.
Not just getting money all the time. Money is good, again, but it's not the most important to me.
Mm-hmm. Good. So you mentioned you've been to different places, like you visited different countries, right?
Mhm.
So what was the best experience you have, like being abroad? Can you share with us, like good things you see, like good places to be?
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. For example, can I tell you about the bad and the good stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So let's go for it. So for example, I really didn't like LA.
Oh, LA.
No, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, not at all. It's
It's
not
like
for me.
São Paulo, to be honest. I'm from
Yeah,
São Paulo. I didn't
yeah,
see that different
yeah, yeah.
traffic, pollution,
Yeah, yeah,
noise.
yeah. I don't know, and I think there is a little, maybe a bit, difference from São Paulo because um in LA, to me, it was like I didn't feel any connection to that place. Okay, I know I'm not from there, but I felt like this is a fake world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling that people from LA are fake, or it's not
Okay.
like this. It's just a feeling from a foreigner, okay?
Okay.
So I felt like everything was fabricated, like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, am I talking to a real teacher?
Mm-hmm.
Like all the time I was like this. And people were uh, uh, so on money, so on heaven stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is not my personality, so probably that's why I didn't relate to that place. Um, I like it, Orlando. It's a great place to visit because it's all entertainment all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's for tourists.
Mm-hmm.
Probably it's not the real life either because
Okay.
you just see the beautiful parks and the good part of it. But it's a good city, like a calm city. It's good to go around, to take a walk, like nobody on the streets walking, just driving. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's okay. Um, I've been to Colorado and I loved it. To Glenwood
Nice.
Springs, it's amazing, unbelievable, great place, great feelings about it. Like you can feel nature, you can feel real life, you can feel people from there. Also, everything was good about it. And but for me, in my personal experience, best place I've been to is Italy. I love
Wow.
it. I
I
love
would
it.
love to go there.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing, amazing place. Of course, there are the bad side of it, like
Mm-hmm.
everywhere has. But it was so good. It's a beautiful culture. As I told you, I studied art, so
Mm-hmm.
that's the place for it. I could see many stuff, many beautiful stuff, museums and arts on the street. Because as we are talking about an ancient country, you
Mm-hmm.
have so many stuff around to see. Food is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unbelievable. And people are nice. It's a nice culture. And I could see real life. I've been to Rome, but I've been also to smaller
Good.
places and states and areas. And they are great. They are great. Beautiful landscapes, beautiful people, beautiful architecture. So it was amazing, an amazing experience. I've been there twice. So both were great, great.
Nice. All right, guys. Noted here. Colorado for sure, and Italy. That was a dream. Now more than ever, I really want to go there and check it out. Good.
Could you tell me a little bit about Canada? Where do you live in Canada?
So I live 4 hours north of Toronto. So
Okay.
Toronto is the biggest city here. I'm not sure if it's Toronto or Vancouver, but one of those two.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so far away from Toronto. It's a small town, like
Mm-hmm.
50,000 people.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
uh yeah, it's good. We have like two beautiful lakes here. Like one lake is huge, like it's the Lake Nipissing.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the biggest ones in Ontario, so it's good to have like this. It's like surrounded by nature, I would say.
Okay.
Like it's a small city, so you have the mountains, you have the lakes. It's a good place to be. uh and it's very safe. So that's what I love the most here. Like I used to make a joke, like in Brazil, I would be afraid of, especially because I lived in Sao Paulo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you see two guys in a motorcycle,
Yeah. Oh my God.
it's,
Yeah.
man,
Separating.
it's desperating. And here my biggest fear was to seeing a bear, for
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
because when I used to wake up early in the morning to go to work. And one day I saw, like where I lived, they put a like a little announcement, like a piece of paper saying,
Mm-hmm.
watch out for the bear.
Oh my
We
God.
spotted a bear
Oh
in the
my God.
surrounding area. So I was like, man,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
what if I come across a bear? So what I'm gonna do?
Terrifying. Oh my
Yeah.
God. How about the temperature?
Yeah, it's cold, guys. It's really cold. Yeah, we can experience like not the real temperature, but like feels like -40. Yeah, so that's bad. But you get used to it, and you are not outside all the time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's basically you when you go to work, it's warm. When you are at home, it's warm. But once you have to step outside, it's
Mm-hmm.
freezing cold.
Yeah.
So this is one downside for sure, the temper, the weather.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good country. I mean, I
Okay.
miss Brazil a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 3 years since I don't go back to Brazil, but I really want to go and visit and check
Mm-hmm.
things out.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's a beautiful country. It's a good country.
Okay. Good to know.
Good. Yeah, so I it's been a great conversation. I know you have classes to teach, and I also have to go to work, but it was great talking to you. I just want to wrap things up here and ask you if you have a final message to the ones who are listening, English learners, people who wants to become fluent in English. What's your final message to those people?
Okay, okay. Thanks for having me here.
Thank
It
you.
was amazing. I really liked it. Thank you. So,
Yeah.
guys, if you are an English student, don't get too anxious. Just try to learn day by day. Don't get too anxious. It will come to you. That's the simplest process. Just believe it. Keep studying. Don't get this crazy stuff that you see on the internet. Just study day by day. Just enhance your vocabulary, and you're gonna do it all. You're gonna nail.
Good. All right, guys. That was teacher Mari Brandão, right? So go follow her on Instagram. I already told you, Inglês Mari Brandão on Instagram. Go check it out. And can I call you? I can call you Mari, right?
Sure.
Good. So, Mari, thanks again for being here. It was a great conversation. And guys, stay tuned. One episode every week. Thanks for listening to this one, and I talk to you on the next episode. Bye.
Thank you.
Yay.